So Jasmine, would you please take a roll call vote for the board attendance at the LDC meeting?
Rubin,
Here.
Nicole,
Yeah.
Andy Fowler, Amy Bondieri,
Here.
James Capone.
Here.
Al Torrigiani, Deidre Hughes here.
Okay. Is there any conflict of interest in regards to any business that's coming before us? Okay, I don't hear any, but if for any reason during the meeting one comes up, please let us know. Proof of meeting notice was posted, correct?
Yeah.
Any bills and communications?
No.
Okay, we have October 9th, 2024 minutes. Does anybody have any need to make any corrections or changes or comments on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Amy. Would somebody be willing to second that?
Second.
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, Jasmine, would you please take a roll call vote on that?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri.
Approve.
James Capone.
Approved.
Deidre Hughes here.
Approved. Okay, report of the treasurer.
Yes. Peter, would you mind putting up the balance sheet for the LDC? Thank you. Looking at the balance sheet as of October 31st, in the cash, we have 2.7 million. The other item would be in receivables. We have approximately 114,000, and that's a receivable that I accrued from the county that we will be, is in the package for approval. And then the P&L. Peter, can you put up the P&L? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Looking at the P&L, we have total income of 668,000 to a budget of 995,000. So far, we're unfavorable by 327,000. We do have another amount. The fourth quarter for the county is approximately 116,000 available yet. And then also, as we're still the end of this month, we'll probably cut the check from the IDA for the 200,000. So there's definitely that 316,000 yet that we have available to book. Looking at the expenses, total expenses so far are 1,057,000 to a budget of 1,326,000. So right now we're favorable by 269,000. We have a loss of 389,000 to a budgeted loss of 331,000. So far we're unfavorable to budget by 59,000. But as I said, is pretty much on budget. That was reviewed last month.
Okay.
Any questions?
So Sarah, really briefly, would you just maybe give a few comments about what transpired with the funding?
So typically, the LDC and the county, we had a contract for professional services of $450,000. We've had that amount stable for the past approximately 10 years. If you remember, there were 2 years where the IDA gave back that spending during COVID. The LDC gave back that contract, and then there was another time where on the IDA side, it was related to the IDA with IBM and the IDA and LDC and the LDC. So so there were 2 years where we did not have that, but for the past 10 years, for the most part, we've had our contract at $450,000. As Tim mentioned during the IDA meeting, we did get a call from Ron Hicks saying that the county was going to reduce our contract to $250,000 for the 2025 fiscal calendar year.
And that, the amount that we provide for the tourism budget and those other funding that we do, what is the total of those on an annual basis?
So that is $425,000.
Right, so again, one of the understandings is that we were taking on the responsibility for funding those programs, which could have been a county expenditure. So I guess my only comment is, first of all, I think that what was a little disappointing is that we weren't consulted. Because in the past, when the county did have some challenges, we were more than willing to, based on our financial condition, to relieve their entire obligation. We did not, in one case, it was toward the end of the year when it was owed to us and we agreed to not collect it, and then we forgave it for the following year. So I just would have liked for them to come and say, listen, we have a temporary situation or a permanent situation, whatever it is that we need, we've looked at your finances or not, and we feel that you can afford a reduction this year. Because that, to me, that just would have been a better way, and we probably would have been receptive based on where we are right now, but also with the understanding that the way that our entity works is the revenue, comes and goes, but we still have things that we do. So we're going to try and get a meeting with Ron first, just to talk about it and to understand more of how it came about and what the need is and what the perception is about what the IDA does. And if there is a disconnect over the value that they feel they're getting from the organization. So, we'll learn more, but I just wanted everybody to be aware that happened.
I would like to add, if I may,
Yeah.
that what you're talking about is the county executive's budget.
Okay.
We received the budget as a legislature, maybe November 1st, We are currently started yesterday, the budget review process.
Okay.
We are in the budget review process. We met with a couple of departments yesterday. We will meet with a couple of departments tomorrow, and we will meet with a couple of departments on Monday. And then we voted out of committee on Monday night.
Okay.
We don't adopt the county budget until December.
Okay.
So this is the first I've heard of it.
Okay.
But I would like to set up this, and as the majority leader, this is my first budget as the majority leader.
Got it.
And we have a new county executive and we have a new chair of the legislature, but I would certainly think that we should move forward to set up a meeting prior to the adoption of the budget.
And yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And again, we have historically been team players.
Correct.
In the county, and we understand. And so if there is a specific need, we understand that. But what would be, I think, sad is if it was felt that we weren't delivering a value that normally we would get what it costs for us to fund the programs instead of the county.
right. No, and I'll
Yeah.
call Ron Hicks on my way home and we'll set up a meeting.
Yeah, so that'd be great. And
Yeah, but it could be the reverse of our balance sheet.
correct. Right. And it could just be, they said, hey, it looks like they've done very well and it's more than they need for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, which is fine. We're willing to talk.
Right.
Our job is to help. So yes, that would be great. And I thank you for that clarification because it maybe was a little unclear in my mind.
Yeah, no, that's the county executive's budget. So we, obviously we make amendments and we're in the process of the amendment process now, hearing, I can tell you tourism came yesterday and talked about Rev 250 money. And so we're looking at doing an infusion of money, some money there. So there is opportunity to adjust the budget.
And I think you've been part of some discussions, but maybe before you started, one of the things that we've done as a board is we had not increased funding to tourism and some of these other organizations literally for 10, 15, 20 years. And because of our, financial position, we actually asked some of those organizations to come back to us, which is very unusual to say, what would you do if we were willing to give you 25 or 50,000 more? And they were like, holy mackerel. But they did come back to us. And in many of those cases, we gave them an increase. Just inflation alone is over that time. So, again, we're receptive to learning.
Yeah, no, it is a trying budget. There's no doubt that the budget is tight, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that help. All right. Anything else on that issue of the financial report? Okay. I don't believe there's any committee reports. There's no unfinished business. Consideration and approval of a preliminary inducement resolution for the issuance of Dutchess County LDC's bonds for Dutchess Community College. Sarah, you want to kick this off? And is there anybody that we need to acknowledge is here?
Yes, so we have at the meeting, we have Donna Rocap, who is the controller for Dutchess Community College, and Liz Conte from Key Bank. I think, Peter, if you can maybe stop the screen share. They're here representing Dutchess Community College. Dutchess Community College is seeking to refinance a previously issued LDC bond, 2011 series bond that was originally issued to finance the construction of the dormitories. They are looking to refund that bond in approximately of $19,600,000, and I think Donna will more eloquently describe the ask.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time today. Yeah, I can just reiterate what we're looking to refund the Series 2011 bonds. They were originally issued, through the DCLDC to finance the construction of our Conklin Hall. This is through the DCC Association, not the college. The Conklin Hall is a 475-bed student housing facility. Right now, we're soliciting term sheets from investors and intend to issue the refunding bonds via a private placement transaction.
Okay. Can you talk about the use and occupancy of those? Are they occupied by, what is the occupancy? Is that building successfully being used?
Yes, we have about 85% occupancy, of which about 295 are DCC students. And then we have a partnership with the Anderson School where we have about 53 Anderson fellows who occupy the hall. And then we have a relationship with the CIA, which goes semester by semester. But right now for the fall semester, they're occupying about 56 beds in the hall. And our occupancy is been going up steadily.
Was that part of the initial plan to have those alternative uses, or is that something that's come about along the way?
It's come about along the way. It was not, I don't believe, part of the initial plan.
And is the future plan to get more students that are attending Dutchess Community College, or is that?
Definitely.
Is that not? Oh, it is. Okay.
It is definitely the plan. These partnerships came along, especially, after COVID, to help us with our occupancy. And so as we continue to, we're out of that and our enrollment is going up. Yes, the goal is to have it with our students. Definitely.
Okay. So COVID was one of the reasons that didn't get off the ground as quick as you wanted.
We got off, I think in 2012 is when it started. Occupancy was good. And then, COVID hit and that we weren't allowed to have occupancy, and then limited occupancy, and we're just, building back up.
And the main purpose of this refinance is, I would imagine, to take advantage of better rates that are available?
Yep. Better financing terms, yes.
Yeah. Does anybody else have questions? I'm hearing no questions. Is anybody willing to make a motion to move forward with the preliminary inducement resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Can we take a roll call vote, please, Jasmine?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri. Approved. Jan Picone.
Approved.
Roger Houston. Approved. Jim Dean.
Approved. Okay, so we have approved the preliminary resolution, and the next steps will move forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next, consideration and approval for Dutchess County reimbursement for third quarter 2024. Sarah, you want to quickly, or Jane, talk about that?
So Yeah, so as part of our contract with the county, the reimbursement request has to be approved by the board. You'll see attached to that is our progress report, and you'll see we have exceeded many of those targets by quite a bit already in third
Great.
quarter. So this is
So,
again
I
a
mean, this is-
reimbursement.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. This is a reimbursement request for work that has already been completed in third quarter.
Would you be willing to make that motion? Thank you. Second?
Second it.
Thank you. Jasmine, would you please take a vote?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri,
Approved.
Jan DeComb,
Approved.
approved. Tim Dean.
Approved. Okay, is there anything else that we need to talk about? Okay, I'd like to adjourn the meeting and thank everybody for their length of patience and time for this meeting.